I am Mark.
Yes, you are. I'm Juno.
Today we are going to review the 2/23/2022 pay-per-view Cinderella Journey. And if you're watching us on YouTube, you will notice that you are probably watching just regular video highlights from throughout the month.
Just because, it's the big end of the month pay per view, you get to have something to watch. Like, no one wants to just watch a blank screen or, God forbid, look at my ugly mug. So you can watch, like, the awesome wrestling and the pretty girls, and we'll just review this awesome pay per view.
Yeah, we don't plan on being one of those channels that just is self-indulgent and put our faces in the corners. I mean, it's all about the ladies. I don't like the way I said that, but I knew what I was going for.
So this first match was Mai Sakurai versus Waka Tsukiyama versus Rina. And this is the buy-in match just for free on the YouTubes that they post live. So if you want to check it out, you can just go to their Stardom official YouTube channel and watch it, or just listen to our review right now.
Yeah, what's cool about it is, well, it sort of caught us by surprise, is it ended up being one of their three-way matches that was sort of elimination, but they don't do it American style elimination where if you lose, you're out of the match. It's if you win, you're out of the match. Piss off, let the losers keep fighting. So, if nothing else, this set the pecking order for who should go against the Futures title. Uh, Rena does get the first pin over Waka, which, means Rena pieces out and she's technically, which seems like should be the number one contender.
With a really sick move. It was like a kind of like a backpack face buster. Really, it was pretty cool. Not if you're Waka. I bet that wasn't pretty cool. But for me watching, it was pretty cool. I also noticed Rena was like a superstar. She has, just like her sister Hanan, the most insane judo flips and hip tosses you've ever seen.
Yeah, you could tell they had real training. They're fantastic.
The other thing that I want to notice about this match is after Rena gets a pin on Waka and she's out of the match, she's the winner. The other two are competing to see who's coming in like second and third, and they're going back and forth. And then to end the match, Sakurai goes up to the top rope and hits a brutal top rope elbow drop to Waka.
Her elbow drops have been awesome.
My Sakurai, since she's left Cosmic Angels and gone to GDM, she's like, no, there's no bad feelings. I just want to go with a group that I think is successful and who can really teach me how to be the best wrestler I can be. Yet she goes up to the top rope and she can do any move she wants. And she goes, let me just elbow drop and aim right for your throat. Maybe
Yeah,
there's a
well,
little bit of bad blood, just a little bit.
and while she's there not having bad blood, I mean, she has the nice DDM, darker, cooler attitude, and she spends a lot of time just throwing mean strikes. I mean, she's just punching, kicking, elbowing. She's not playing nice, that's for sure. Not playing dirty, but not playing nice either. And then finally, match number one. After all that, future of Stardom title match. Momokogo challenges Hanan.
Hanan, Hanan. I have to say, first, Kogo comes out and or Komomo or the Star Peach, whatever you want. She comes out and not. I'm not. She always looks really really good, but she comes out with like a kimono on and like one of those like paper fan, not fans. Was it a fan or it was like an umbrella?
Yeah, it's
Regardless,
like an umbrella sort of thing. Yeah, that was it was a star it was a pay-per-view star entrance is what it was.
she looked like talk about a smoke show. She kind of reminded me of like a Sandra Bullock movie where it's like, oh yeah, she's pretty, but then like you drop the glasses and the ponytail, and all of a sudden you're a runway model. Except you drop the kimono and the paper umbrella and your Momo Kogo. Just bring it.
Are you saying for some reason Momo put on more clothes and became more attractive?
One of the first moves I noticed, and one of the big moves is I think both of them went like and hit the ropes on opposite sides, and they both went for a drop kick, and Kogo was just a little bit quicker and literally drop kicked Hanan out of the air.
Yeah, that was right when the match started. The bell rang and they both went for the quick start and they both went up in the air and Mogo just a little bit taller, a little bit quicker, ended up knocking Hanan out of the air. And with that drop kick, to which I would argue Kogo has one of the best drop kicks in this company. And she hits it from anywhere. She did a springboard off the top rope, like AJ Styles' phenomenal forearm style, but somehow rotated and turned it into a drop kick. It was sick.
It's great because normally you see a rookie come in and they do their couple moves, and it's not bad, but it's like, oh, that's their couple moves. 95% of Momokogo's moves are just a drop kick, I feel. But you know what? If you do one move, I'd rather see difficulty 3 execution 10 than difficulty 10 execution 3. She nails those drop kicks.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said about it just might be the Japanese style because New Japan does the same thing. Like it's fundamentals first, and when you're fun, well, if you, yeah, when you do a picture perfect drop kick and a picture perfect Boston Crab, like the match is so much better than doing backflips all over the place and looking like an asshole. Which is why these young girls slash newer girls like put on sometimes the shows of the night because their fundamentals are so good that there's and they're not doing anything that they can't handle.
That is so true. And how would you describe uh, Hanan's finisher? I just call it the Hanan special because it is spectacular.
Y- well, it's funny. I'm sure I haven't written going to we could get what it's actually called in our past reviews on the stardomfan.com, but it's basically a bridge in German. It's more of a side suplex than a German suplex,
Yeah,
though. It's a side suplex that she bridges up,
it's
sort
almost a
of like
perfect plex.
yeah, yeah.
Kogo was getting all her moves off, and Hanan was getting whooped, and it was like, oh, two, and then she would kick out, and the next time 2.5, and she'd kick out, and then 2.8, and then 2.99, Hanan kicks out, and then finally she just hits the Hanan special, I'm calling it, and just ends the match right there.
Yeah, it was definitely a good end. And if there was nothing else about today's show, like the
There's
the
some
endings were great.
there's something to be said about a finishing move actually finishing off your opponent.
Hmm.
Now for my personal main event, Lady C and Utami versus Ruaka and Momo Watanabe.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and call the Lady C and Utami the goddesses of Stardom.
They're
Just
ba-
Team Goddess, if you will.
yeah, they're basically the goddesses of Stardom tag champions at this point.
I mean, this is a teaser match for what will come, but put in the comments below. There's no doubt in my mind that Utami and Lady C are probably the next goddesses of Stardom champion.
That's so true. Something I noticed about Stardom in general, and it's just Lady C, me being a fan of Lady C and the pro wrestling, is that she is out there for every match. And you could say, well, maybe she just wants to learn. And I'm like, that might be true. But she doesn't just cheer on like other Queen's Quest members, she cheers on everybody and everything. So she just found herself the best seat in the house, and she slaps that apron nonstop all night long for however long this pay per view was, 2+ hours. And the point of this is she must get like a lot of practice. It's like Karate Kid. She gets a lot of practice in slapping the apron, so that later in the match she gets Momo up against the ropes and just starts chopping her like Ric Flair. It was like chopping down a tree. Those chops were flying.
Yeah, her chops are getting better. Lady sees everything's getting better. The stuff looks stronger, looks stiffer. It's fantastic, and obviously everything Utami puts in there is fantastic. Momo, I wrote it might change later on, but as of right now, watching it, Momo's kicks are always good, and I actually wrote down the world famous Momo kicks might be the strongest in the company,
The world
and
the world famous Momo kicks made famous by Shuri.
yeah, well, that's who ends up changing my mind like 2 matches later, where it's like the Momo kicks are awesome, and then Shuri starts throwing kicks. I'm like, oh no, the Shuri kicks are awesome.
um from the get-go, something great about Stardom's storytelling is Utami from the start. It doesn't even matter if she's tagged in or Momo's tagged in. She just goes for any chance she gets. Like she That's not over. She's getting her hands on Momo at some point, and she's gonna murder her.
Yeah, Momo ends up tagging out at the very start of the match. They tease that it's going to be Utami and Momo. They haven't had their singles match yet, and it's deserved. Um, Momo quickly tags out. Raka comes in, and Utami ducks. Raka goes right for Momo. She's like, "That's all she wants. One track mind. Get that bitch that turned on you and your team."
And the match ends with Lacey getting pancaked, unfortunately, by Raka from the top rope.
Yeah, and you know what? That still doesn't change my mind. They might have got a loss here, but I do feel that no matter what happens, this was the start of a tease of the Utami Lady C Dream Team.
Well, when the ref can't enforce any, it's chaos. It doesn't really count. It's barely a win.
I mean, lucky for us as fans is that after the match, Momo beats up on Utami a little more just to make sure that this feud stays alive, just until maybe the pay per view they end up. No, actually not. Spoiler alert: Momo ends up challenging for the tag belts. So eventually, this is going to be a slow burn, but it seems like Utami and Momo are going to hate each other for a very long time.
What it sounds like is that Momo and her mystery partner are gonna challenge for the tag belts, and they probably will win, setting up real goddesses, Lady C and Utami, to take them on.
Oh, red book that. I like it. Put it in the futures book. Toss-in match number 3. Tam Nakano and Mayu Iwatani. Yeah, I said that right. Tam and Mayu team up to go against the Oedo Tai's Saki and Fukigen Death. Talk about a cool team and have Mayu and Tam.
Yeah, it's interesting. It might be just because Mayu's such like a nice girl that she doesn't hold any grudges against Tam leaving. Because Tam, my Sakurai leaves Cosmic Angels, and she's like, "I'll never forgive you."
I will never forgive you! Arrivederci!
Well, just think of the dome. Like uh, Tam teamed up with Kid, and she was like looking at her and giving her fist bumps, like, "Yeah, I know you left me and I saved you," and you're like, "Nah, it's cool. I still don't want to join Stars because you guys suck." And they go to the dome, and Mayu's like, "Yeah, that's cool. Do you want to do that move where we jump? You jump off my shoulders? Yeah, let's do it." Like, but yeah, Mayu's just transcendent. She's like, "Well, I am the legend, so I'll just work with anybody."
Oh, if this is a shonen, she's like the Goku or the Naruto. Like she doesn't care. Like she'll talk no jutsu her way to friendship.
She's probably the Hokage.
She's definitely a nine-tailed fox.
Well, all of them. Although she only brought one tail today because she knew she didn't need them all.
There was some cool moves that I wrote down. There was Mayu. So Saki comes off the rope, and it was kind of like the first match where Kogo drop kicks Hanan like out of the air, except the opposite, where Saki comes off the ropes and Mayu super kicks her in the knee, and she goes tumbling. That was a cool little move. Like what made it cool is that she's like I got you, bitch, and you just see Mayu's face, and she's just laughing like, oh, I got you on that one. It's well scouted.
Yeah, blocking the super kick. Yeah, they both sort of shared smiles. I don't know if they were shocked by it or what, but it was a fun part in the middle of the match.
Another really awesome move was Mayu going like she's gonna do her finisher, which is kind of like a Snapdragon suplex, but she like holds it first, and then she drops you and she puts you in the Snapdragon, and she suplexes you. She's setting that up, except Tam comes up in front of the girl, Saki, and hits her with a code breaker. I'm calling that move the pogo suplex.
But I tell you what, Saki was the kick out kid in this match. She kicked out of everything. Mayu gave her super kicks, and oh man, she was kicking out. But eventually, there was a double team that she couldn't recover from. Mayu hits a moonsault off the top rope, and Saki eventually cannot kick out.
So Tam and Mayu get the win, and what's interesting is like I thought going in like, oh, they wouldn't like each other, but they're like high fiving and hugging, and I think they might be teasing like that they're friends again, or what one that maybe one of them's jumping ships, or maybe I'm just looking too much into it.
Well, I would assume they're both the leaders of their respective factions, but they sure got along really well. And considering both stars and uh, angels are pretty depleted, maybe eventually they just join forces to like go against the 18 team DDM or the 15 team Oedo tie.
Let's put it this way: for two people who used to be friends, and then one of them betrayed each other, and then they fought for a little while. They liked each other way more than Hazuki likes her tag team partner, and they're the tag team champions.
That's for damn sure. Moving on, match number 4. We have, for some reason, maybe it's just a showcase match for what's to come, but it's DDM versus DDM. Micah, Himika, and Shuri. I like to we call that My Himi Bushido. Bushido My Himi.
Don't Bushido my Himi.
Versus
Princess Bushido ponytail
oh yeah, oh that's good. Yeah, the
versus.
Mirai, Tekla, and Julia.
I don't got nothing clever for that one.
No, no. Basically, it's
The
I don't know how to say it.
the
It's like
fighting,
my
got
Himic.
it. The fighting Julia's rah rah rah.
The girls who used to wear scary masks and come out with sledgehammers, and now they're just regular wrestlers.
Yeah, I can't call them the Momos anymore because that's too confusing. That's too many
I
Momos.
I know we have too many Momos, but this is where I wrote down. Remember what I said about Momo's world famous kicks? Shuri's world famous Shuri kicks are stronger and awesome.
Thekla is just sitting on the ground, and Shuri comes up behind her, and it looks like she just wants to kick her in the back. But she kicked her so hard in the shoulder blade. Think about this, that she literally knocked the wind out of her from the shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know how the anatomy works, but basically, it's one of those
I know
things
the
where
lungs
it's
aren't in the shoulders.
yeah, but when you're hit so hard that everything convulses, yeah, sure, he's pretty fucking awesome. Um, this was a match. It was a showcase match. They teamed up. I don't think it was anything crazy special. Basically, the match ended in a draw, and it was basically the showcase match between Julia and Suri, and that's going to end up being the title match, and probably between Mai Himi and Thekla and Mirai, who
Are you
old DDM versus
are
new
you kidding
DDM.
me?
They're going to end up fighting sometime.
I think we watched two different matches. You said nothing special. Thekla stole the show. Well, at least this match for me. I got some notes here. Looking through, it's all Thekla all the time over here.
Oh, well, maybe this was the time that I thought I loaded up the new New Japan mobile game, so I might have lost my train of thought for a second. So I apologize. So to
So
to pull back the curtain a little bit, I was like, the New Japan app just the video game came on the phone, and I think I figured out how to play it.
there were
There was a Thekla spear that is always good. Maybe it's because she is
she's so speedy.
you're gonna cut this because like I just the English is up on the New Japan app. After talking about it, I tried it one more time and actually the English server is up. But yeah, Thekla's spears look so good, and she threw another one today, and it could be the fact that I don't know what it is about her because I didn't some. She presents herself as a grown ass woman, but she is tiny and probably like a buck 10. So when she lays in the spear, she lays it in at about 90 miles per hour and looks like she's tearing a
Well,
girl in half.
it's like when a it's like what they tell you to do when a bear attacks you. She's got this big trench coat and she flaps it around, so it's like she looks bigger than she really is.
It could be a lot of that stuff, and her gear has those straps all over the place. Like
Yeah,
it's very
verticals,
busy.
a lot of vertical straps.
A lot of vertical straps. You know what they say? That adds 20 pounds in about three inches.
I don't know about 20 pounds. She looks great, but I will say maybe it's hard to tell how tall she is because she's always bouncing around so much. You can't get a point of reference.
That's true too.
Another this is like the Thekla seesaw match. Everything I wrote is like, oh, Thekla did a cool move. Oh, Thekla just got beat up. Oh, Thekla did a cool move. Oh, Thekla made the save. Oh, she got taken out again.
I actually find that funny you hearing that because I've been trying to. I feel like I was the Thekla super fan for the past month and a half, and to hear me try to gloss over the entire match and you be like, "Oh no, Thekla was awesome." I was like, That's pretty entertaining." It turns out Thekla might be awesome. And again, that was a draw. Match number you know what though? Wait, before the end, I didn't write that down, but I just remembered. After the match, Shuri and Julia, I mean, they're not very friendly. They don't shake hands at the beginning. They're not shaking hands at the end. They're sort of just like talking shit. Julia's staring at the belt. They leave up the same ramp at the same time, but they're still not friendly. Like Julia, I think is willing to put that red belt, which I'm not sure she's ever had, over her friendship with her old partner,
Yeah, I think
tag
she.
team champion partner. Match number 5, Goddesses of Stardom title match. Unagi and Mina Shirakawa challenge Hazuki and Koguma.
Can I just
Team
say?
Wildcard.
Can I just say? Hazuki is pretty cool.
Well, it's funny you say that because actually on StardomFan.com, the first words that are written under the results is Hazuki is pretty cool. So, and then I also write Unagi and Mina make an awesome team.
Oh, I Unagi. She found a way to somehow rival the H bombs. She invented hip cleavage, which I didn't even know was a thing. But now it's like again. It seems like every time I see Unagi, it's like she does something that I never knew I needed to see it, and now it's the only thing I ever want to see.
It's the only thing you can see.
I can't even
These two are.
focus. I can't even focus on like her side or under boob because I'm looking at the hip cleavage.
That's actually funny. The I like matches like this where in the big shows where there's less goofy Mina and where Mina sort of turns it up a little bit. Like Unagi was pretty mean too. When these two girls who are sort of naturally goofy turn on the meanness, like it ends up being a really good fight.
That being said, that's it's like they flipped a switch and they were another person and they were all business once the bell rang. Before the bell rang, my goodness, their dancing was they practiced that a lot.
Oh, that's right. They did the Cosmic Angels dance. That's our new favorite bet. Like, are they gonna dance? Are they gonna dance today? And even though there's only two of them with no Tam, they dance. And I'll tell you what. Yeah, it was good. That was probably the best dance. Although missing Waka trying to dance is always key, and missing Tam trying too hard is key. I mean, these these two ex idols, if you, I assume, I mean, they know their dance moves.
Yeah, it's a little game you can play with like you and your friends. Every time the Angels come out, it's like betting on the coin toss of the Super Bowl. Like, are they gonna dance? Are they not gonna dance?
Yeah, I see. I didn't think they'd dance with just the two of them, and sure enough,
Are you kidding me? On the grand stage, of, like a pay per view, they're not gonna miss that opportunity.
I mean, not just any pay per view, but this is the Cinderella journey.
Yeah, it's leading into the big. It's probably their biggest pay per view. They have a lot of big pay per views, but the Cinderella is one of the big ones.
Yeah, next one's bigger. The two nighter.
Una-
This.
I was gonna say Unagi had. I can't gloss over this move. Like somehow, I don't even know how you can move like this. She was almost like a video game character. She goes off the ropes and goes for like a running leg drop, Hulk Hogan style. But she jumps up in the air for the leg drop and somehow twists her body into a 180 and lands it on the other side. It was like a Tony Hawk move.
Yeah. Yeah, the Christ era of leg drops. She ends up. Well, that's how you get more torque. You got to get that extra rotation.
That's how you get your combat multiplier up.
Yeah, yeah. Doggy at her leg drops. I mean, always amazing. But was what Mina actually Koguma does that big old roll up usually as her finish. That's how she won the title off Himika with the roll up where she puts all her weight on the legs. And Mina actually, it's the first time I've seen it. Mina kicked out of it. which made me think they were going to have a chance. But unfortunately, Unagi was laid out on the outside, too much double team damage, and Kogama ends up
Hitting a big
pinning
body
Unagi.
splash.
Yeah.
And that's
Oh yeah,
when
she did a splash off the top rope. Yeah, Kogama did a splash and squished our Unagi.
the dark Momo came out, Momo Watanabe, the Black Peach, and she says,
Uh,
"I want a
After the
piece."
match,
She says, "I want a piece of you guys," but she comes out alone, and she's talking all this trash. I'm like, "All right, well, who's challenging with her?" And it's a mystery. So we're gonna find out. Hope who knows when who her opponent is. It could be someone returning. It could be they've been teasing another new wrestler that
no,
Kyrie. Everyone thought Kyrie was the mystery wrestler that was getting leaked, but no, that was a double fake. So it could be the new wrestler.
yeah, or it could be just Tora,
Uh,
which I don't understand. Like, if Momo's going to get a title shot and she's going to declare it, then you have to treat the match that they had earlier with Lady C and Utami as a number one contenders match, which, quite frankly, she already had a partner, Ruaka, who also got the pin in that match. Should be her partner, if But
I
those
mean,
Oedo tie damn dirty.
it could be Rocka. I don't know. Maybe she has midterms. Maybe she's got a test at school. It could be Rocka. It could be anyone.
It could be anyone. Maybe Kyrie ends up going
To the dark
Black
side.
Kyrie. He shows the dark side. All right. Your favorite match of the night, match number 6, the high speed title match. Azumi challenges the Starlight Kid.
You take the lead on this one.
I thought, as far as a high speed match, I think the next match was actually more high speed than this, but this was a high speed match that turned into a test of wills and strikes. Basically, these were two girls that seemed to have a natural are natural enemies. They've been fighting since apparently they were 12, and they started off a little high speed and just turned into punching and kick each other for the next 10 minutes. What I thought was nice was Azumi was doing a bunch of her running the top ropes, and this time it didn't look reckless. She must. Sometimes it does, but she's the only one in Stardom right now that does a lot of that running the ropes, running to the top ropes, and for a while at the end of last year, it was looking good, but for the first couple months of this year, it was looking reckless, a little shaky. Like, and I was afraid she was going to hurt somebody, but today she seemed pretty safe, and it was a good match. I hate to say stuff like that. Like, they're looking safe in a wrestling match where we're trying to put over as real, but
No, 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 no. It's
Azumi's
like
something
it's
different
a
because
legitimate sporting event. I'm a big hockey fan, and I see a guy and he does a really hard check. I'm like, okay, fair play. If I see a guy get blindsided, I go, what the hell? You're gonna hurt somebody.
all
Like,
right, fair enough. All right, so we want the people to hurt each other. We just don't want them to literally kill each other. So
yeah, yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah.
fine to say. Like Azumi was dropping people on their necks, and today it didn't happen quite as much. And if I may, riddle me this, internet, on all of our Azumi comments. What makes you guys think she should be the face of Stardom? I don't see it. Like, where's the internet Azumi love? Anybody? Anywhere? Is it an Azumi Army thing that you guys haven't got over it yet? I mean, come on. She's nowhere near as good as any of you guys think she is.
Ooh, I
Oh,
kind
sorry, shots
of.
fired.
I kind of. I tell you take the lead. That's interesting. I thought you were you were liking Azumi way more than I was, but I kind of agree. Like, first of all,
No,
Starlight's got for me. Starlight's got it all. Like, she can trash talk anyone, but also when she does her little promos with it's especially when she's with Ruaka, who's 17, and Rina, who's 15. She's so adorable, and she's like, you can tell she like takes care of the kids. So she could be cute. She could be a nasty bitch. She wrestles like a maniac. She does it all. My point being, she lost to Azumi, and I was very disappointed. And it's not just that one of my favorite wrestlers lost, which I mean, that's most of it. It's that I just don't get Azumi. Every time she goes for a big dive or a thing off the top rope, I think she's gonna slip and fall and hurt herself, or she's gonna like no regard for the people she's landing on.
My Izumi issue is similar. When you say you're surprised that I didn't like Azumi as much. Quite frankly, the fact that I like Azumi at all means I like it a ton more than I like her a ton more than you like her. And my more issue is she seems ordinary. Like that's that might
Yeah.
sound crazy to enter. Like I just don't understand the Azumi love, the face of the Stardom. When I don't even think she's the in the top 5 of Queen's Quest, let alone should be the
Yeah.
face of the entire company.
She's yeah. Out of the 4 Queen's Quest members, she's number 5.
Yeah, like she's under the flag.
The flag has more character. That's true, and it's not. And she's been around for years. And Momo Kogo, one of my like new favorites, is there in 3 matches, and she's already making a splash in Stardom.
That's for damn sure. Well, that's unique. You want to talk about not ordinary? That's our girl Kokomo.
And the last thing I'll say about Azumi, because I don't want to. All right, one negative thing, and then I'll think of something positive, so it's not a complete roast of this poor girl. Is that she does all these armbar moves, and they look so painful, and like they're gonna dislocate people's shoulders, and really hurt their arms. And I don't think she's a good enough wrestler to make it look really painful. I think it just is really painful.
It's probably more possible that Starlight and Azumi have been wrestling since they were 12. So she knows that Starlight is probably quadruple jointed and can put her like left shoulder on top of her right shoulder. And to stop burying a character is right. I mean, that's not. No one wants to listen to a show where they bury your favorite wrestler, and that's fine. So I will. What I did right at the end was, which goes completely against everything we just spent the last 5 minutes saying, was as far as the end of the match, a fun series of near falls for both ladies. I actually wrote a review. Can't do this match justice. Just watch it. Like I thought the last couple minutes was so good. Like there was near falls that I I was buying into. Um, Unfortunately, if Azumi eventually makes Kid tap, and they do a little show of respect afterwards. They're on opposite sides. They used you know but they still did the fist bump, and
No,
they basically crashed in the last 5 minutes. They had a lot of near falls. They crashed and burned together, and it was entertaining. They if nothing else, they laid it all on the line and they whooped each other's ass for our enjoyment. So I guess the long and short of it is, let's see, it's a
well,
video that's 28:51. Just go ahead and scroll, watch the entrances, and scroll to minute 20, and then you're gonna have one of the best matches of the night.
yeah. And you know what? Maybe you guys are all right. Azumi's awesome, and we don't know what we're talking about. And she's the high speed champion now. Just the perfect opportunity to show me what you got.
Show us what you've got.
Show me what you got. I want to see what you got.
Well, that just opens the door. That opens the door. I mean, Momo already beat her, and Momo beat her with the grudge match. So I don't know. Who does Izumi fight now? You know what? I don't even know. Who cares? It's a stupid bear belt. I mean, you can cut that
Hey,
out.
it's a Starlight. It's the interim Starlight Kid belt.
Yeah, she's just holding it for a couple minutes. All right. Match number 7. Whoa. I well, for some reason, and it might just because pull the curtain back. It's 3:42 a.m. and we wanted to watch this entire pay per view and rock a little podcast action. But I think you said you thought this match went long. I wish it was still going on. Natsupoi challenges Saya Kamatani for the Wonder of Stardom white belt, and holy cow, awesome high speed start to the match. High flying, hard hitting, crazy apron bumps, yo, these two, holy shit! And considering I thought there was no chance in hell that Natsupoi had a chance of winning, boy, did they have me believing. They had me believing real quick.
Yeah, there's a big section of this match where it starts off how every match should start. Like there's not a lot of matches where someone just if they're evenly matched. Usually there's an underdog, and that's how it started. Where no matter what Natsupoi tried, she just couldn't get the upper hand. She was getting like, Saya. I almost forgot her name for a minute. 3:43 a.m. will do that to you. Saya was somehow faster than Natsupoi. She was stronger than her, more athletic, more
Yeah, you
flexible. Anything she tried, smarter. Like Saya had an answer for it. But as the match gets going and they're getting tired, like Poi is the kick out kid. No matter what Saya hit her with, she just kept coming back and kept coming back. And eventually she starts fighting her way back. And all of a sudden, Natsupoi's got the upper hand. You're thinking, whoa, what's happened here? And then she keeps fighting back and she keeps fighting back and she hits a big move here, a big move there, near fall in here, near fall there. And you're like, is she going to do it? Is she going to be the white belt champion?
yeah, it was cool. It as far as high speed quote unquote matches go, I mean, this epitomized it. These two girls for 25 minutes wrestled like their hair was on fire. They don't stop, they don't rest. They needed a drink of water halfway through the match, and they're were breathing like crazy when it's over. They're fantastic, and I think it was probably the 20-minute mark, which after 10 minutes of uh Natsupoi being on top, you actually said, "Wow, Saya's getting her ass kicked." Like after it being pretty back and forth for the first 10 minutes, there was a point where Natsupoi just yeah, took the upper hand on uh the Dome Woman for a very long time.
Now, Lady C is out there for every single match.
Oh,
And
here you go. You can't even do a title match without having Lady C in it somehow.
she was out there for every match. You're okay, how okay? Don't make every single match about Lady C. And
I
you
mean, you
think
could if we wanted to. That's just stardomfan.com, baby.
you call me weird sometimes. You're like, man, you're really focused on what's going on outside the ring. I'm like, listen, when they're catching a breather and they're laying there and they're recuperating, and I'm looking around and there's nothing a lot happening, and I see a 177-centimeter woman screaming and slamming the apron. How do I not pay attention?
Especially because she put on Reebok yoga pants.
Yep, yep. She rocked the box.
Rock
I
the
noticed.
box.
I noticed what she was wearing because well, she's good looking, but she came out with a during her match with a new outfit, and it was awesome. So that when she came out in like a hoodie that they're trying to sell, which real real recognize real, sell that merch, girl. And she came out with Reebok yoga pants. And what I noticed is she was getting real comfortable out there. That's how I noticed, man, she's out here for a lot of matches where she's getting comfortable enough to just take her shoes off. She's just out there in socks and yoga pants, Reeboks.
That's how you know you're finally comfortable in your job. Maybe she got the contract. But anyways, back to the match of the night. Yeah, I said it. If there's one thing you do, you find a way to watch this match. Maybe in a little bit we post highlights, but for right now, it's only 900 yen or something like that. Freaking sign up and watch Natsupoi challenges Saya Kamatani because it was ridiculous. Eventually, after some of the craziest spots you've ever seen, jumps to the outside, suplexes on the apron, suplexes from the apron to the floor. Saya will eventually hit a perfect picture
Whoa, whoa,
perfect
whoa! Let me hit the rewind button. Now we wrote the email. Oh,
for Rich Gay.
right before that, Poi's final move, where you think, oh my god, there's no way she can kick out of it. Saya is going up trying to set up her Phoenix Splash, and she's on the second rope, and Poi comes up behind her and hits her with a beautiful German suplex, follows it up with another German like suplex that she releases, and she has like no energy left, where she can't even get over to pin her or get back up. Finally, she gets her wits about her. She goes up for her, I guess you call it like a Poifect Plex, like an Alexa Bliss Perfect
Yeah, a
Plex,
little sparkle
a little
splash,
sparkle
twisted
splash.
bliss.
Comes
That's
down,
right.
and
It's
that's
Poi
usually
hit
it.
Saya with her finish first. That's right.
Saya kicks out at 2.9999. Maybe the ref was a little slow. I mean, who's can say?
That
Maybe you
is
just
true.
maybe you were just making sure the shoulders were down. It's a title match. You don't want to mess that stuff up.
No. Yeah, that was Nancy Poi gave her everything she could give her. It just wasn't enough. And then Kota Ibushi turns on his TV, on the Samurai TV, and says, "Let me check out how to do this Phoenix Splash." And Saya Kamatani goes to the top rope, and I don't know how you rotate that much, and then you jump forward, end up flipping backwards, doing two left right turns, using your left and right turn indicators like a normal human being, and then you land perfectly on top of your opponent for the 1, 2, 3 every time.
And Natsupoi's a
Saya
small target.
Kamatani. Right. Oh, Saya ends up winning, retaining, and then Saya goes crazy. I don't know if it's the adrenaline, the emotions of the match, because I mean, she eventually starts crying just from like probably the adrenaline dump. But who does she's like, I want to
Whoa,
challenge
whoa, whoa, whoa,
everybody for
whoa.
this way. Oh,
Rewind.
we back it up again.
Yeah. I'll have to put a sound effect in every time one of us gets too excited. After the match, they're both just laying there, catching their
Oh,
breath.
there's a lot of show respect. That's true
Yeah,
too.
they're getting
Yeah,
they're getting their ice
don't downplay
packs.
that.
Rossi comes in, hands her the belt, gives her the trophy, all that, and
It was
then
actually funny. She like Saya sounds like a mad woman. Quite frankly, she had to have been blown up. What a match for fucking 20 plus minutes. She like crawls up fucking Rossi, like trying to make her way up him to grab her belt. It was fucking great.
yeah, I don't think she can. I don't even think she can stand for a while. And Poi couldn't even sit
No.
up. She's just laying there, and Saya is like on like her knees, like still catching her breath, and she thanks Natsupoi, and Natsupoi just looks up at her and takes the mic, and she's like, I came at you harder than you thought I would, didn't I?"
Yes, and she says all that while in a fetal position, like on her side. She doesn't even look at her. She doesn't sit up. Poi is blown up. She's folded in a ball. She's like, Natsupoi gave you more than you thought. Like,
like,
it was fucking awesome.
like I almost had you. I gave you all you could take and almost more. And she
Yeah,
just,
then they
well, she's and Saya goes, "Yes, you did." And she goes to give her a handshake, and Poi goes, "Nope, psych." Like, cause it was a lot of show respect, and she says, "Yeah, I can't give you a handshake, but here's a fist bump."
no, and then well, I guess I got excited because after all that, Saya loses her mind and says she wants to make the white belt the most important belt in the company, and within a 2 night span, challenges she as the champion challenges Tam Nakano and ex champion, probably one of the best professional wrestler pound for pound in the world, Utami Hayashishida, for her own belt. like,
Mind you, I don't know if she's ever beaten Utami, and she. So first of all, she's got to go up against Tam, who she spent like 2.5 years, and she finally got one winner over on her, and it was us. It was basically was they fought to a draw, and she goes, "I want to take you on the Rio Gokugikigano show."
Whoa, do that again. Holy shit, that was good. Mayu, listen up.
Rio Gokugigano show.
Wow, that was good.
That was awful.
No, the first one was so good and quick. It was fucking awesome. Gano.
And then the next night, she goes. She looks over at supposedly her best friend, and she goes, "I know I've never beaten you, and you just had probably wrestler of the year as our world champion last year, but I'll take you on
No,
the
that's a
next night."
that's not an opinion. That's a fact. She has a trophy that says she was wrestler of the year.
Yeah, that is fact. And
You
whenever
can
I get
catch the picture at
whenever we get
StardomFan.com.
I finally get that part of the website up and running, we do have a spreadsheet statistically proving she is the greatest wrestler in Stardom and probably
In
the
the
world.
modern era.
Yeah, and probably the world. She's trying to take them on both in one night or 2 nights, back to back.
Yeah. It's actually that's sort of how the pay per view is shaping up. Sure, the red belt's going up back to back nights, and so is the white belt.
Oh,
Obviously, they both accept, but it was pretty funny because Utami walks in the ring, looks at her friend and teammate Saya, and says, "Saya, sometimes you say some real crazy things." I will take that. She just basically says, "I'll do you a favor. I'll do what you asked, and I will take that belt from you."
Yeah. Oh, that was a cool. Because was there anything Utami says that isn't cool, where she just goes, "I've tried for that belt before, but I wasn't ready then."
Yeah, quite frankly, she already transcended and went right to red belt. So
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
I
whoa!
I don't care what I don't care what color it is. When she opens that robe, there needs to be a belt under that robe from now on. So she can be anything, any
I
belt she
do.
wants.
Although it is pretty cool, she still does the same kind of what would you call it? Entrance that she always does when she had a belt, except now there's no belt there, so she's like, "Well, here's the abs."
Yeah, you might as well just look at like how good a shape I'm in instead.
Saya challenged her best friend Utami to a fight for this white belt. That belt is like the ring from Lord of the Rings. It's cursed. Everyone who holds it, they just fight their friends.
Yeah, Tam. Yeah, before Syed, I mean, I think Tam defended it all summer long last year against everyone in Angels. She was like, "Oh, who's gonna face me now?" I was like, "Oh, now I gotta fight Unagi. Oh, now I gotta fight Mina. I mean, what the hell? Like, why am I just fighting my friends? Because that's what the white belt does. It brings out the worst in everybody."
Yeah, even when Saya goes up against her, Saya looks up to Tam. She's her mentor, but now I'm gonna fight you because I want that belt. God damn it! And I used to think that before even Tam called it cursed, I was saying, "What's wrong with this belt? Well, it's like cursed. Everyone wants to fight for it." And then Tam at one point started calling it the cursed white belt, or "You can't handle this curse." I think it's a.
Yeah, because
I
all her friends were turning on her.
I
She's like, "I've
think
already got a friends here.
so.
You guys."
Keep track of that as you watch Stardom. I think that's a legit thing that happens. The white belt is cursed, and everyone fights their friends.
So if the white belt's cursed because the friends fight, Shuri or Julia fighting Shuri for her red belt. Does that make the red belt also cursed, or Julia just a
Um,
bitch?
and my final nerd point was that if Shuri goes through Mayu and Julia in back-to-back nights, and Saya goes through Tam and Utami in back-to-back nights, there's only one, because that's pretty much the top cream of the crop of the company, unless you're counting Kyrie wherever she fits in. There's only one logical conclusion. We got to have champion versus champion, one belt to rule them all.
Damn right. I would like to say this pay-per-view was amazing. We will be doing probably a couple podcasts a month. We a month. There probably should be another one within the next week or so. We do want to do sort of monthly recaps slash like the next month maybe previews, and considering this is the end of the month, this is going to roll right into it. So hopefully we can get on for another podcast soon. Right now, the podcast, we are hosted by Podbean. We should be on all podcast 2.0 apps soon, along with all legacy apps such as Apple Podcasts and any Google Podcasts, anywhere you find your shows. And you can also keep watching slash listening to us on the YouTube. Support us just by watching us, liking, sharing. It's a way to support. And StardomFan.com is a fun little website where we try to keep up on match results. There's usually screenshots and fun stuff like that you can download and play with. There'll be a little GIF factory. It's fun making GIFs of some of the matches. So there's a lot of things to come. 1,000 subscriber party coming up soon, hopefully.
Yeah, also, we just unlocked after getting to 500 subscribers. Thank you very much. The community tab. So I'm very excited to do polls and just chat with you guys and do memes and GIFs and all sorts of cool stuff.
Yeah, because we're all Stardom fans, baby.
It's a community. I, for one, think everyone should at least watch Stardom. It's like my religion. Everyone should watch Stardom once in their life.
Well, like they say, you just can't have one. I watched it once, and here we are. Arrivederci.
Hi, I'm Juno, and I'm a
Oh,
year and a half long Stardom addict.
Sorry, I just popped because I just have it playing in the background, and I just watched Saya get dropped on her head by Natsupoi. Boy, you guys need to watch this fucking match. Jesus, I'm gonna watch it for a third time in a couple minutes. This is gonna be something that I show the guys next time they come over for a New Japan show and be like, listen, we're gonna turn the guys off for a minute, and you're gonna watch fucking two fucking 105 pound girl and 185 pound girl kick each other's ass like you've never seen.
I thought you were gonna say 105 pounds combined.
And a combined weight of I don't know 175.
That's like Okada's left bicep.
Oh, maybe. All right. Thanks, everybody. Arrivederci.
Check it out.